The place where the Manson family murdered Rosemary and Leno LaBianca recently went on the market and just sold.
Imagine that. So if you are the realtor or the buyer or maybe the seller, how do those headlines impact your property?
A little bit, you think?
I would think so, just a tish.
So our friend Anthony Marguleas, broker of Amalfi Estates, joins us now with that perplexing question.
Anthony!
Hi, how are you, Anthony?
Well, you need to be well armed.
Okay,
that's
tell
the
me.
first. Yeah, that's the first step. You got to be well armed if you're going to be buying a house where murders have happened. No, in all seriousness.
But in which way? I mean, what way? I mean, psychologically, you have to be ready for that.
Yes. What we found is homes like this property that may have a stigma associated with it. After so many years have passed, we're coming up to the 50th anniversary. It hasn't had much effect, as one would think, on the value of that property.
Really?
So, for example, this property came on the market on July 10th.
In Los Feliz, right?
In Los Feliz, 3311 Waverly Drive. Came on the market on July 10th. They had multiple offers on the property. It went into escrow within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So it's been so long. They've had multiple owners have transferred title on this property. The current owners had lived in there 20 years.
Wow.
And after so much time has passed, as opposed to other properties like the O.J. Simpson house, 360 North Rockingham,
yeah.
that property ended up was torn down.
Yeah,
Because
they bought it and
too many people were taking pictures. A lot of the neighbors were getting upset because it was a big distraction.
So looky-loo situation in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know if I'm not going to buy a house that has a famous murderer in it. If I'm just gonna looking for a house, but is somebody required to tell me that something tragic happened in that house?
You are required.
Okay, tell me.
So the real estate law says you have within 3 years of a murder in the property, you're required as a seller to disclose.
Within only 3 years?
Within the past 3 years.
Okay.
Having said that, we recommend to our clients, if it's something that's of note or a mass murder or something that's really a very horrible way someone passed away, we recommend they still disclose it because that still technically could be a material fact on the property. Certain cultures, for example, have a lot of concerns about that, and that's where feng shui and other matters come into play to get the bad omens, the bad energy out.
All right, so I have personal experience with this because I rented a house in San Diego. Unbeknownst to me, there was a gruesome murder that happened in the house. And fortunately, I was just renting. And the realtor did not tell me that there was something that had happened. It'd been I guess the 3-year time had lapsed, so he wasn't required.
Wow.
But the neighbor told us. The neighbor who lived in the neighborhood for 35 years goes, I don't know if you know, while he's sipping a margarita, that a person was brutally murdered. And I'm like, and my wife literally lost her. I mean, it's like, how could we possibly? Then she began to be more and more freaked out by the house. So this is not like a famous murder. There's no famous thing attached to it. There's nothing about it was nice.
Right.
So anyway, we moved out.
You did move out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean,
but it didn't bother you.
Of course.
It bothered you because it bothered your wife. That's the right answer.
What bothered me is that it was
Right?
such a good deal. I should have wanted to stay there.
Well,
But now I knew why the rent was so low.
Yeah, right.
there's a great saying: location, location, location for a buyer. As a seller, disclose, 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 because what you don't disclose, your neighbor will.
Yeah.
Right.
And that happened with you.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, and so obviously there's a lot of rules for
Yes.
okay, so let's talk about those rules.
There are a lot of rules. And one other famous house was the Amityville Horror House.
Yeah, in New York.
That was in Amityville, New York. It was in 1974. One of the owners, after they had purchased it, because it had so much history behind it, actually changed the address of the property. It was really interesting. It was 120 Ocean. They changed the address to 108 Ocean because they had so many people wanting to take pictures in front of it. Once again, all the other issues.
Funny thing is, I actually took a picture in front of that house.
Have you really?
I'm sure you did.
You're the reason
He's
they changed the
looky-loo.
address.
Right.
Wow.
Too much personal experience with all this stuff. I'm freaking myself out right now.
Well, it's just good. It's good knowledge for people to know whether they are. I mean, obviously, people who are selling typically would know this because a realtor, a licensed realtor, would know the law.
So this realtor was interesting. They put it for the Manson family. In the private remarks to other brokers, they actually disclosed that it was the LaBianca house, murder house. They didn't do it in the general public, but it did it to the brokers.
Right.
And it was asking price was a little under $2 million, and we believe it probably is going to sell a little bit over asking. Zillow had valued it right around $2 million. They priced it at $1,988,000, and to get multiple offers that quickly, most
Market was
likely
there.
it did sell.
Let me just.
And is that a neighborhood worth $2 million? Just so I
It's
know.
interesting. It's a two-bedroom house in Los Feliz.
I was
It
gonna
has
say.
2 bedrooms.
Wow.
It has fantastic views.
has a
there you
And it
great
has
view.
a pool. And
Okay.
And yeah, the agent was marketing it as very tranquil.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so I guess maybe on the next go around with Anthony, we should talk about houses that like have celebrities that own the house, like Frank Sinatra's house,
Yeah.
Oh,
or Dean
yeah.
Martin's
Oh,
house.
yeah. I can tell you some great stories.
Yeah,
Jay-Z
so-
and Beyonce.
so-
Like, I want to live in their house.
I can tell you some really fun stories.
All right, so let's save that
Yeah,
for next
one
time.
famous celebrity left Fido ashes in the house, and I asked them, "What do they want me to do with them?" And they said, "You can just toss it."
Oh,
Yes, and it's a very well-known celebrity.
Oh my gosh. We'll get into that next time.
All right, Anthony, something to look
Thank
forward
you.
to. Thanks very much for being with us.
You're welcome.